I get a lot of questions about how my PDPs are set up. So this is all I've done to these Walthers. Real talk, out of the box, the guns are over sprung, in my opinion. The recoil spring, Ben, what, like an 18 or 20 pound recoil spring, something like that?
Feels like about 40. I'm a pussy, but it feels like 40 to me.
It's a bit much. So I could still shoot the guns, or both of us, with the factory recoil springs well. It just feels like, what, Ben, on your wrist, you feel a bit more snap. Like the guns, they feel like they kick a bit harder or flip more. They probably have to.
They feel like they kick more, but visually I can tell. I mean, there is a difference with the PDPs. Even with an SRO, a factory PDP spring, the red dot leaves my awareness in recoil and then comes back. That does not happen with a Glock. So that to me is it's a difference.
So in every PDP I own, the first thing that gets replaced is just the guide rod. I like the ZR Tactical guide rods. It's just one piece captive, and the 15 pound spring is what I use. You can use, they make a lighter one. I think they have an 11 and a 13. The way I assess if it's a good idea or not, if the gun's dirty, because I don't want to clean my guns all the time. If the gun like sticks out of battery just a little bit, like if I just chamber it and I don't really slingshot it forward hard, if the gun sticks out of battery just a little bit, like, yep, that's not going to work. So that's why I do the 15 on these, because I just don't run into any issues. Other than that, I do like the dynamic performance trigger better. So I've got those in my guns. It's a Walther factory part. I just don't like the shoe on the factory PDP. It was just because it was too wide. So what I was doing is I was pressing the trigger shoe from the side, and I couldn't always like reach around to the front of the trigger shoe to press straight back, just because it's a really wide, kind of a paddle. Other than that, other than the recoil spring and just changing it to the factory trigger, these guns are stock. I use the Walther plates. You get one free plate with the gun, and those are good to go. The guns are a little bit slippery, so I think either using grip tape, or this is a silicone carbide, which is a permanent solution, which is basically covering the grip with JB Weld, dumping on some silicone carbide, so it's kind of, it's like what, powder, I suppose, or like glitter looking.
Yes.
And that's it. But this is a permanent mod. It's not something you take off. So if not, using like the stick-on style grip tape is good. So that's the polymer gun. And the metal gun, oddly enough, is the exact same thing. The first thing I did was just change.
But it's metal.
It's the same thing.
Same.
Same 15 pound recoil spring. It's in this one. I have used
same. Different material. Same.
Yes.
Okay.
I have used the Sprinko trigger return spring some, and they're a little bit lighter, but it's not enough to make a world of difference. So it's like a $5 spring. That one maybe change out. I've got that in some of mine. But otherwise, I just changed the guide rod. I use the factory plate that comes free with the gun, and the guns are good to go. And then this gun also, more silicone carbide. This is the factory grip panel that's just been covered with silicone carbide. And Lock is coming out with variations for these. I've already tried one. I like it. They're pretty grippy, and they've got more on the way. But anyway, Ben, what's your experience? Do you have a couple just slick guns that are factory?
My PDPs that I've been shooting are utterly factory, but I can just tell you, it's like, would I like the lighter recoil spring? I would. Would I like Joel to make my triggers awesome? I would. You know, I would like those things, and I would appreciate them, but I like to shoot the guns a little bit more stock sometimes, just to help me grow. But I can tell you, I am envious of all of these things, and if, you know, those guns go missing or whatever, you'll know where they went.
And you'll be the first suspect.
Yeah, I will be. Wait, there's one other thing I got to add.
Yes.
Just to make sure we have a good segment. Boner.